What does Prince Charming like to eat?
Prince Charming likes everything. Charming is an opportunistic feeder. Notice the size of his mouth. You see how big his mouth is? So he sits in a pond, just like he's doing now. And he waits for the food to almost walk up into his mouth. So everything from any insects to even small rodents. His mouth runs side to side, so he can fit a lot of food in there.
How much could he eat in one sitting?
Honestly, a big guy like this, he could probably eat maybe a cricket, a mouse, you name it. But he won't eat until he can't take any more. He'll have his fill and then wait for more food to come by.
Has an African bullfrog ever been caught eating snake babies?
African bullfrogs have been caught eating just about anything that isn't bolted down. Small snakelets would be a tasty snack for Charming, that's for sure.
How big can African bullfrogs get?
A full-grown African bullfrog, because he's kind of like a circle, he's a big man, so let's say 9-10 inches around. Charming isn't as big as you would think he might be. They get very large.
How does a bullfrog like Prince Charming differ from a regular frog?
Well, size. When you're a big man, you can eat just about anything. Normally, frogs have a much smaller mouth than Charming does, so they can't eat enormous food. So they more rely on arthropods and insects. Charming can eat just about anything.
Including elephants?
No, not elephants. It'd be hard work fitting an elephant in Charming's mouth.
How does an African bullfrog defend itself?
An African bullfrog defends itself. Let's see if we can get him to puff up. Let's say a predator picks him up. You see how he's blowing himself up? He's making himself big. To make yourself even larger, you take a deep breath in with your lungs and expand yourself as big as you can. You're trying to make everyone think you're really much larger than you really are. So not even to bother to take a chunk out of it.
If I went to Africa, where could I see a bullfrog like Prince Charming?
Prince Charming African bullfrogs are found more in the central part of Africa, although their range is quite large. So when we have a good rainy season, you'd have a lot of froglets being hatched. Although in the wintertime, all he's got to do is cover himself in spittle. When we don't have rain for bullfrogs and the little ponds dry up and up, he covers himself with a mixture. See how he's getting all big? He covers himself with a mixture of mud and mucus and covers himself completely so he can hibernate through the dry season.
What happens to an African bullfrog during the rainy or dry season in Africa?
Rainy season, he is a happy man. You've got a big pond, you've got places to go. As the rainy season stops and slows down, those ponds get smaller and smaller and smaller. So all the froglets are born generally in the middle of the rainy season so they can reach maturity. But in the wintertime with no rain, inside that little mud-coated mucus shell, he can survive without any food throughout the whole dry season.